Over the last couple of weeks, I've been playing a lot more in the attack helicopter, mainly as a gunner, but also a little bit as a pilot. I'm not very good as a pilot if I'm completely honest, but as a gunner I'm starting to become a bit more proficient. I've even switched over to the zoom optics instead of the thermal sights now because they're a lot better for shooting down enemy helicopters, although some of this gameplay is with the thermal. I hope you did enjoy that montage style intro as well. I'm thinking of doing videos like this every couple of weeks, just showcasing some highlights of what I've been doing over the past fortnight on the battlefield and maybe a couple of the things that have been going through my mind at the same time. So first things first, Caesar Shanghai and the iconic Charlie flag. This, in my opinion, is the best flag on Battlefield 4. There are a couple to choose between, but for me this one is the best purely because it is on a massive skyscraper and nothing gets close to it in terms of gameplay on the game. I know that it is a bit frustrating if you are an infantry player and all you're trying to do is get up there and you just keep on getting shot down by an attack helicopter, or if you're in the transport helicopter and someone will never fly you to the top. But for me it is the best flag on the game, and I'm really hoping and kind of optimistic that they will keep something like this in the next Battlefield and maybe look at bringing a map such as this into it. But if they were to go for a World War II game, as has been mentioned, I'm not really too sure how they'd implement it into it, but there's plenty of ways they can get the Levolution that's been so epic on Battlefield 4 into the game itself. I've actually found as well over the past few weeks that playing in the helicopter has brought kind of a new aspect to the game, because I never really used to fly them, and that's because it is fairly difficult flying a helicopter, and when you stick with the beginner loadout of heat seekers, you often find yourself getting wrecked either by a pilot who's a lot better or by a heli team or something like that. But once you switch up to a loadout that some of the better players use and you practice with it a little bit, you find yourself becoming a lot better and you can kill loads and loads of people. Your biggest problem really on the game is when you come up against either someone who's better than you or coming up against a load of stingers or something like that. So if you haven't already, it's definitely worth giving this a go. What will keep me occupied on this map for the next couple of weeks, and will probably keep my attention to it for a lot longer after that, is the fact that you can get attacked from pretty much anywhere on the map. If you're in the helicopter and you're up by Charlie, you can get locked from Bravo or Alpha or any of the roofs, because you can get on pretty much all of them on this map, and then you can be locked from down at Delta and Echo. Now it's not exactly fun being locked, but it does make the game a little bit harder, and although I wish that the lock-on weapons weren't as easy to use, I know they are lock-on weapons, but you can get critical hits just by aiming and getting the weapon to do all the work for you. But although I don't really like them, it is good that there's that sort of competitive nature to the game, I guess. I would prefer it though if there was more of a push towards people using skilled weapons such as RPGs and straws. They are a lot harder to hit, but it's really not that difficult if you put the amount of time in that some people do into things like stingers. I'm sure you can easily get used to taking down helicopters that way. Plus it's a lot more satisfying. One other massive issue I have with this game though is the dusts, and I'm really not too sure what they're going to do about it, because it seems to me like even the stuff in the CTE, as I've heard from a couple of people, it's not actually much better than what it is on the game itself, and that's such a shame because dusting really does ruin the experience for me. If you're playing a game and you are against another enemy helicopter of similar skill level and all your shots dust on them and their shots don't, then that's really going to put you off the game, isn't it? Because you're just in an unfair situation where they've got the advantage on you and you're just kind of stuck and there's not much you can do. Now I find similar issues when I'm in the tank or when I'm in maybe the boat and I'm TVing people. I've got lots of montages out there just showing how ridiculous some of the dusts are that you get on Battlefield, but the fact is you get pretty much 50% of your stuff dusting in some games. It might have something to do with the ping of a lot of players or the server quality or stuff like that, but it does happen to me an awful lot. But let me know what you think down in the comments of the dusting, and if you've actually heard any news on whether they're going to be fixing it. It would be awesome if they could do something about it in the summer patch, but you know, it is kind of a big issue, so I can't see them fixing it straight away. If they do, it's awesome, but I think it might be something that requires a little bit more attention than just a quick fix, because otherwise that would have been sorted out already. If you like this sort of idea that I'm going to do every couple of weeks, just doing a short little video on what I've been up to on Battlefield, maybe a couple of weapon reviews, different vehicles, things like that. Not as much in-depth guides, tips and tricks, but stuff just about the map itself and maybe about the certain weapon loadout that I've been using. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.